The house stood at the end of Willow Street, shrouded in shadow, a monument to decay. Its once bright facade, now blistered and peeling paint. The windows, like vacant eyes, stared out blankly. It stood alone, isolated by its sinister reputation. The old house seemed to sag under the weight of its secrets. The roofline dipped, a weary sigh against the relentless march of time. Each gust of wind whistled through cracks and crevices, a mournful symphony of neglect. This was a place where time stood still, trapped within the crumbling walls. The house on Willow Street was not merely old, it was unwell, a festering wound on the landscape, oozing an aura of menace. It was a house that whispered, but only to itself. The house had once been grand, a testament to a bygone era. Built in the Victorian style, its intricate details were lost to decay. The ornate carvings, now obscured by layers of grime and neglect. The wraparound porch, once a place of leisure, now creaked ominously. Ivy, like grasping claws, clung to the walls, tracing the lines of its slow demise. Each tendril a testament to the house's surrender to nature's embrace. The paint, once a vibrant hue, had faded to a sickly gray, stained with the dampness of neglect. The windows, once sparkling portals to the world, were now clouded and opaque, reflecting nothing but the oppressive atmosphere. The once proud residence had become a macabre parody of its former glory. Every chipped piece of paint, every splintered window pane spoke of abandonment and despair. Stepping across the threshold was to cross a boundary. The air within was stagnant, heavy with the scent of decay. Dust motes danced in the faint rays of light that penetrated the gloom. The grand foyer, once a symbol of opulence, now echoed with emptiness. A once gleaming chandelier hung precariously from the ceiling, its crystals dull and lifeless. Cobwebs, like ghostly shrouds, draped the furniture, hinting at the passage of time and the absence of life. The air was thick with silence, a silence so profound that it throbbed in the ears. The house on Willow Street did not welcome visitors. It held them at arm's length, a silent sentinel guarding its terrible secrets. The grand foyer, once a place of warmth and laughter, was now a mausoleum of memory. The living room, once a place of comfort and warmth, was now a shrine to decay. Dust lay thick upon the furniture, its once vibrant colors faded to muted hues. The fireplace, cold and empty, seemed to mock the idea of warmth. A tattered tapestry hung on the wall, depicting a hunting scene frozen in time. The eyes of the hunters, rendered in faded thread, seemed to follow one's every move. The air was heavy with the weight of forgotten conversations, the echoes of laughter long silenced. The house remembered. It held the memories of its former occupants within its decaying walls. Each creak of the floorboards, each sigh of the wind through broken panes, whispered their names. Section 5. A Hearth Gone Cold. The kitchen, once the heart of the home, was now a sterile, lifeless space. The stove, cold and rusted, stood like a forgotten sentinel. The cupboards, their doors hanging open, revealed empty shelves and the faint scent of decay. The floor tiles, once a cheerful pattern, were now cracked and chipped. The remnants of meals past, long since turned to dust. A single window, grimy and cobwebbed, offered a glimpse of the overgrown garden beyond, a testament to nature's relentless encroachment. The kitchen, once a place of warmth and nourishment, was now a desolate reminder of the fragility of life. The silence here was deafening, broken only by the drip of a leaky faucet, a metronome marking the passage of time. Section 6. Shadows in the dining room. The dining room, designed for grand gatherings, now stood empty and echoing. The long mahogany table, once laden with feasts, was bare except for a fine layer of dust. The chairs, still neatly arranged around it, seemed to await guests who would never arrive. An ornate china cabinet, its glass doors clouded with grime, displayed a collection of dusty plates and tarnished silverware. A single portrait, its colors faded and canvas cracked, hung askew on the wall, depicting a stern-faced couple who seemed to disapprove of the room's current state. The dining room, once filled with the clatter of cutlery and the murmur of conversation, was now a hollow shell, haunted by the ghosts of meals past and the specters of those who had partaken in them. Section 7. The Weight of Emptiness. Upstairs, the bedrooms stood as silent witnesses to the passage of time. Each room, once a sanctuary of sleep and dreams, was now imbued with a pervasive sense of unease. The wallpaper peeled from the walls like shedding skin, revealing the skeletal framework beneath. In one room, a child's crib stood empty, its paint chipped and faded. A rocking horse, its once bright mane now matted and dusty, stood frozen mid-gallop, its glassy eyes staring blankly into the void. The air was heavy with the weight of unfulfilled promises, the echoes of childish laughter forever stilled. The bedrooms, once havens of rest and rejuvenation, were now unsettling reminders of the ephemeral nature of life. Each room held the imprint of its former occupant, a ghostly presence that lingered long after they were gone. Section 8. Dust and Memories. The master bedroom, once a place of intimacy and repose, now exuded an air of melancholy. The four-poster bed, its heavy drapes drawn against the light, seemed to conceal secrets best left undisturbed. A vanity table stood against one wall, its mirror reflecting nothing but the emptiness of the room. A silver hairbrush lay upon the vanity, its bristles entangled with long-forgotten strands of hair. A half-empty perfume bottle, its scent faint and cloying, spoke of a bygone era of elegance and grace. The air was thick with the scent of dust and decay, mingled with the phantom aroma of lavender and rosewater. The master bedroom, once a sanctuary for a loving couple, was now a mausoleum of memories. The silence here was deafening, broken only by the creaking of the floorboards and the rustling of the wind through the broken window pane. Section 9. Where Shadows Linger. The attic, shrouded in darkness, was the heart of the house's disquiet. The air was thick with the smell of dust and decay, mingled with something ancient and unknowable. Cobwebs hung like macabre decorations from the rafters, and the floorboards creaked ominously with every step. A single dusty window cast a pale light into the room, illuminating a jumble of forgotten objects. Trunks overflowed with yellowed clothing and faded photographs, their subjects staring out with ghostly eyes. A rocking chair swayed gently in the breeze, as if moved by an unseen hand. The attic, long a repository for forgotten memories, had become a breeding ground for fear. Here, in the shadows, the veil between the living and the dead seemed to thin, allowing glimpses of something unsettling and profound. Section 10. A Garden Reclaimed. The garden, once a source of pride, had surrendered to the relentless advance of nature. Weeds choked the flower beds, their thorny tendrils reaching out like grasping hands. The once manicured hedges had grown wild and unruly, forming a living wall around the property. A stone fountain, its basin choked with dead leaves and algae, stood silent, its waters long since run dry. Statues of mythical creatures, their once proud features eroded by time and weather, stood guard over the overgrown paths, their expressions mournful and forlorn. The garden, once a place of beauty and tranquility, was now a tangled wilderness, a testament to nature's indifference to human endeavor. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying vegetation, a cloying perfume that spoke of death and rebirth. Section 11. The Unseen World. The house on Willow Street stood as a testament to the enduring power of the past. Its crumbling walls held the echoes of laughter and sorrow, of lives lived and lost. It was a place where the veil between the living and the dead seemed to thin, allowing glimpses of something both unsettling and profound. Some whispered that the house was haunted, that the spirits of those who had died within its walls still lingered, unable to find peace. Others claimed that the house itself was alive, its timbers creaking and groaning under the weight of its own dark history. Whether haunted or merely imbued with the residue of human emotion, the house on Willow Street remained a place of mystery and unease. It stood as a silent sentinel at the edge of town, a reminder that some secrets are best left undisturbed.